Christmas and Happy Holidays. By the time that this video airs or is uploaded to my YouTube channel rather, it'll be Christmas Day. So no matter what you observe this time of year, whether it's a religious or cultural observance or none at all, and you're just relaxing and enjoying the festivities, I hope you are taking care of yourself and spending a little time to get creative and spending time with your loved ones and friends this season. So I am slowly working on my December daily album. I'm kind of doing it in batches. Last year, I filmed pretty regularly and posted pretty regularly my December daily process. This year is a little bit different. I'm in the process of working on some projects for next year, and so with Christmas planning and all that great stuff that's been going on, working on my projects and doing content here for the YouTube channel, things have gotten a little backed up this week. But I'm sure all of you guys understand. So what am I doing? This is day 7, and this is a photo of Corinne and all her little dolls. She was doing her chores that day, and part of her chores are to make up her bed. And she stacked all her little babies up on her bed, and she called me in her room, and she says, "I bet you can't find me," as she's sitting amongst all of her dolls. And I thought that's cute. So that's what I'm talking about in the journaling. I'm going to take some tabs, or not some tabs, but some die cuts from Ellie Studio, which I love. I guess they're called pull-aparts, rather. Love Ellie Studio. And that little label there says such good stuff. And I'm going to add a little bit of stapling there using my tiny attachment. I thought I would line it up with the lines that are already printed on the tag, but I didn't do that very well, but that's okay. And then on the photo, I added a label that says favorite, and of course it's pointing to all of her dollies, and of course Corinne. Now I want to create a tab, and a lot of times I will create a tab so that when people are looking through the album, then it kind of gives them a direction to sort of take that tab and move the page, right? Move on to the next page. And of course it's a great embellishment to have on any page or any album. So I'm going to stamp the word December using the 2015 Allie Edwards stamp set from her December Daily Kit. And I'm going to decide how I want to position it. And at this point, I want to stamp something else on the other side of the label. So I grab a stamp that says this story. So for let's see, this was day 7. So for day 6, you'll see the journaling, and then of course the tab that'll say this story. And then when you flip the page to day 7, you'll see the tab that says December. Now I'm going to staple that on there just to add some interest and to secure it. And add that little pocket back in there, and I think I'm good. Very simple and clean. Now I'm kind of flipping through it to see how it works, and I like it. Now I'm going to move on to day 8, and on this day, Brie and I went to lunch, and we're trying to do more of that. As you know, things get busy, you have kids and you work, and it's kind of hard to take time out to be with your significant other. So we decided to go to a seafood restaurant nearby, and I don't know why I put that number 9 there. That's supposed to be number 8, but I'll change that in just a second. So I'm trying to get her to look at the camera, and she's being a jerk on purpose because that's what she does. And so she's looking out the window as if she's thinking about something deep, but she's not. She's just, being a butthole. So I'm taking this metal rim tag, circle tag, and I put the word 9, which I'm going to quickly replace with the word 8 here in a second, and then I also stamp Love You So with an Allie Edwards stamp as well. Sorry if you hear the background noise. Things are crazy here at Grand Central Station in the Calvin household. It's actually Christmas Eve. This will be posted on Christmas Day, and so we're wrapping presents and doing all that kind of stuff. So there's lots of things going on in the background. So I do apologize for that. So I print out my journaling 4x4. And then that little phrase that says lunch date, that's actually Allie Edwards' handwriting. It was a little font download that I got off of, I want to say the Creating Keepsakes website. All right, so now I'm trying to position my little 8 there like that. I'm going to put the journaling back in the pocket. And then I add a little washi tape because there's some gold in the font. Well, the font is gold, and I want to add just a little more element of gold there, and call that good. So that was day 8. Day 9, I picked up Corinne from school, and it was cold. Surprise, surprise, in Texas. We haven't had many cold days. In fact, on Christmas Day, which, of course would be today when this video is uploaded, it is 70-something degrees outside, so whatever. I wanted it to be cold. We were hoping for snow, but that's just not gonna happen. So on this particular day, on day 9, I picked up Rennie from school and it was cold. And she says, Mommy, I want some hot cocoa. So we go to the store and we pick up fixings for hot cocoa. We go to Target and they had these really cute Christmas tree marshmallows. And I've been wanting marshmallows and hot chocolate. And I thought I was going to pick up some snowman ones, but I couldn't find them and I'm too lazy to make them. I have all these Pinterest finds of, how to make your own marshmallows and decorate them. I ain't got time for that. So thank you, Target. All right, so I found this really cute coffee cup in my stash, my wood veneer stash, and it actually has a little heart etched in it, but you can't tell it now that I've embossed it. And this was kind of like a bad embossing job. I need new embossing ink, so the embossing powder didn't stay on all that well, and so the letters didn't come out as shiny as I wanted them to, but that's okay. They're going to stay the way they are. So I'm spelling out the word cuppa to have a cup of hot chocolate. Stick that in the pocket there. I'm using a 6x6 pattern paper that I cut down to 4x4, and that's from an American Crafts paper pack. All right, now I'm going to add some washi tape to the journaling, which again I just typed up and printed on some vellum and trimmed that down to fit the album. And I'm punching some holes there in the journaling spot. Put the little picture back and then my journaling, and I believe I'm going to call that good. So there's the page with the wood veneer embossed in red glitter, and then of course the photo. Now I thought I would do something a little fun. I enjoy eating Lindor chocolates. They're delicious. And I have this little package laying around, and I hide chocolates in my craft space so Corinne won't get to them. So I had this little package laying around, and I thought I'm going to do something with this. So initially, I cut the front panel of the packaging, and I was just going to add holes to it and add it to my album. And then I thought, after seeing the back of the packaging, instead of doing that, I want to go ahead and create a little shaker pocket. Now, I do recommend that you add little elements like this. It adds a lot of whimsy and a lot of interest. But if you're going to, say, make a shaker pocket, then I would recommend either sewing it on or using washi tape to keep the contents in. Since I've made this little shaker pocket, my sequins have fallen out. I use some Tombow Mono to try to seal up the sides. You could also use some red line tape as well, but some really sturdy tape to hold your pocket together. So anyway, the Tombow Mono didn't work against the plastic lining of this package, so I'm gonna have to redo it. But I did not have any other option at the time that I was doing this. My sewing machine quit on me, so I just let it go. I donated to Goodwill. Maybe somebody will pick it up and fix it, but I just don't have the patience or the time to worry about that. So I'm just gonna get a bigger sewing machine down the road. But nonetheless, I go ahead and put the pocket together, and now I'm trying to decide, do I want to put holes in it? And I'm not going to put holes directly into the packaging, so I created some holes using kind of like a little insert rather, using some vellum, punch some holes in that. I'm going to add that to the packaging and get that all taped up. And then I'm going to reinforce those holes with some hole enforcers here in just a second. So I'm going to pop that in the album. I like that. And of course, this little package has nothing to do with any story. I just put it in there because I like the chocolate and I wanted to just be reminded of that. And I will typically indulge in these chocolates every now and then. I don't buy them often, but Target had these small little packages in their holiday area, so I bought a few of them to keep on hand as I'm creating, so I can have a little treat. There we go, so that works well. Now I'm going to take some sequins, some gold sequins, and I got these from Recollections from Michael's, perhaps? It's been a while. So I'm going to fill my little packaging with some of those sequins. Now, I think I mentioned this early in the film, in the recording of this, but if it seems a little blurry, again, it's not you, it's me. So it's going to clear up here in just a second. Alrighty. So I'm going to pop that in. I like that little shaker packet. A great way to reuse, recycle, and your packages, plus as a nice little reminder of the things that you enjoy during the holiday season. Okay, so now the film has cleared up a little bit, that I've cleaned my iPad screen, and I'm a lot more clear. So there we go. So moving on to day 10, we had dinner with some of our good friends. They are the Fish family. So we had dinner with the Fishes. And I have Corinne's little friends' faces covered up because I did not receive permission from their parents to show their image here. So I do that often if I'm scrapbooking other people's kids unless I have their express permission. Anywho, so what I did was I printed out the photo using one of the pick frame options from my pick frame app, and then placed that nicely on that 4x4 piece of pattern paper that I cut, trimmed down. I added an LE Studios label that says Fa La La, and of course that number 10 is from a Thickers font pack, and I showed that in one of my earlier videos. So I'm going to stick that in there, and of course I'll take off the things that are covering up the little boys after I film this. I printed my journaling out on a piece of vellum. I'm going to stick that in there, again using that Ellie Edwards font, her handwriting font, that's to say good times. And I kind of talk about us having dinner together, and it all came about really, I saw a recipe for chicken Alfredo shells or something like that, and my friend and I were commiserating about how great that sounded, and she goes, hey, I'll make that for you, come over for dinner. And so that's what we were doing that night. Next up, I want to create a tag that's going to go in between the photo and the journaling. So I grab my favorite stamp set of all time, dated stamp set of all time, I should say specifically. LE Studio dated stamp set. This just came out this year. It is a fabulous stamp set. I love it. So I'm going to repeat December across that tag. And then at the bottom, I want to stamp the year in red. Now what I'm doing is I'm inking up my stamp and doing the initial stamp, and then I'm stamping off so that there's some variation in the amount of ink that's on the stamp. So you have some light parts and some dark parts. Now I'm taking some Stampin' Up! Red, no, it's not Red Hood. It's Riding Hood Red. Kind of counterintuitive to what you might want to call it. So it's Riding Hood Red, and this is from their classic stamp pad. I don't know if they still sell this color or not. I've had these pads for a long time. So I stamped 2016 at the bottom of that tag. Now I'm going to take another one of these metal rimmed circle tags, and I'm going to stamp Good Cheer. And I'm using, again, Stampin' Up! Ink, and that is in Garden Green. And I want to add that to my tag. Now I'm using some of this jute, and it's thick, so it's not really cooperating well with me, but I'm going to create a bow, and then of course I'm going to add some circles here, or some punches here, so that it'll go nicely in the album. And I just fuss and fuss and fuss with this, this jute, and it's just so rough. But, I'm only going to fuss with it so long before I abandon it. All right, so I'm going to walk you through the album. So let's see, there's that label, the tab that I made. That's day 7 of Corinne and her little babies. They're all hanging out. That little crew rolls pretty deep, and there's a lot more where they came from. Day 8, I talk about my lunch date with Aubrey, which we're trying to do a lot more of these, kind of reconnect. And there's been a lot of redefinition of our relationship since she's come out as transgender the past 2 years. If you've been following me for a while, then you know that story. I kind of talk about it from every so often, but not very often. Day 9 is the hot chocolate with the Christmas tree marshmallows that we enjoyed. And day 10, we had dinner with the fish. It was a lovely dinner. By the way, chicken Alfredo shells are yum. There's my tag all finished up, and then of course the journaling, and then my little insert using the Lindor's chocolate packaging. All right, some photos are coming up. I'm going to continue to work through this album, and I'll post more videos to come, and I should be done with the entire album by the end of the month. Take care, have a very Merry Christmas, a happy holiday, enjoy yourself, and do something special for yourself today. All right, see you in the next video.